Good morning and welcome back to Triumphant Kids Corner. Yes, we are in a different location. We are changing it up for this Sunday, but don't worry, we will still do the same thing. Let's dive right into our lessons, right? Okay, let's go. So for my 2 to 5-year-olds, this is your activity sheet. And yes, sorry for no color, guys. We are working on that. But your story title is God Planned for Families. Then for my 1st to 3rd graders, this is your activity sheet. And your story title is Jacob and Esau Reconciled. And my 4th to 6th graders, we have the same story title, and this is what your activity sheet looks like. Alrighty? So now that we've gone over our lessons, let's dive right in to story time. All right, so grab your stories, grab your seats, and enjoy story time.
God made man and woman. God named the man Adam, and Adam named the woman Eve. God told them to take care for the earth and rule over the animals, fish, and birds. Eve had a baby boy. The baby was named Cain. Later, she had another baby boy. His name was Abel. The boys grew up to be men. Abel became a shepherd, and he took care of the animals. Cain became a farmer, and he grew food from the ground. Adam and Eve were the first people. They had children, Cain and Abel, and they were the first family.
Jacob and Esau were twin brothers. Esau, the older one, was an expert hunter and outdoorsman. Jacob liked to stay home. Their father Isaac loved Esau, but their mother Rebekah loved Jacob. When Isaac grew old and could not see well, he called for his older son Esau and said, "Go hunting and then make me a delicious meal that I love. Bring it to me so that I can bless you before I die." When Rebekah heard this, she came up with her own plan. She instructed Jacob to bring her 2 goats so that she can make a meal for her husband. Then she told Jacob to bring the food to Isaac and to pretend to be Esau so that he would receive his father's special blessing instead of his older brother. Jacob did exactly as his mother instructed. When Esau learned what happened, he cried out, "Jacob has cheated me!" Esau decided that he would kill his brother, but Rachel told Jacob to go and stay in another land with his uncle Laban until Esau was no longer angry. Jacob stayed with his uncle many years. One day, God told Jacob to go back to the land of his father, Isaac. Jacob was afraid that Esau would still be angry with him for stealing his blessing. So Jacob gathered gifts of camels, goats, and donkeys for Esau. Jacob sent messengers ahead of him to meet Esau. When the messengers returned to Jacob, they said, "Your brother Esau is coming to meet you with 400 men." Jacob became even more afraid. He cried out to God, "Please rescue me and my family from the hand of my brother Esau." Then he just reminded God of his promise, saying, "You have said, I will cause you to prosper, and I will make your offspring like the sand in the sea, which cannot be counted." Jacob looked up and saw Esau coming with his men. As Jacob approached Esau, he bowed to the ground 7 times. Esau ran to meet Jacob. Instead of greeting his brother with anger, he threw his arms around him, and together they wept. Jacob told Esau, "Seeing your face is like seeing God's face, because you have accepted and forgiven me." All right, friends, so welcome back from story time, and let's dive right into our crafts. So our first story, we talked about God planned for families, and that's what Adam and Eve, they started their family with Cain and Abel. So in your description box, I'm going to put a link to 2 coloring sheets and 1 craft activity. It's not so much of a craft, but 1 activity which involves paint, so your kids may enjoy this one. So I'll put that in the description box, and the first page will be Adam and Eve, and it says God created Adam and Eve to give them family. All right, and they could color that in. It's nothing really major, but the next one is the outline, or not the outline, the start of our family tree. All families on earth will be blessed. Genesis 28 verse 14. And this is what we are going to be focusing on. So you'll print this and you'll have your child color the trunk. And I always go ahead and do my part. So I finished this craft already. After they color in, I'll give you 2 options because my bottom piece has something different as well, but you could use the one that has the scripture. Either one is fine. So I colored in my trunk, and then my handprint is big. So yes, it took up most of the page, and I put it on, and I wrote my family, my immediate family's names on each fingers. I had to let my parents share a thumb. Don't have enough digits for all of everybody. So yeah. So you have my dad, my mom, you have Nicole, you have me, Zena, and Zoe. All right, so this is all you're going to be doing for this first craft. You're going to be talking about your family, and because your hands may be smaller, they can possibly do multiple hands and write their names by their fingerprints. So it doesn't just have to be your immediate family. I only did this because I have a big hand and it can't fit. But if they have small hands, 2, 3, 4 prints, and just make sure the fingers are well defined, and write everybody and let them learn about their family and the importance of family. And that's it for actually the first craft. It's really, really, really simple. Please make sure you post and let us know what your family tree looks like. Now, in the description box as well, again, I will add our second activity. This one is going to be about our second story. For the 1st to 6th graders, talked about Jacob and Esau reconciling. So this one is an image or coloring sheet of Isaac on his bed and Jacob taking his brother's blessing from his father. So you're going to see a little arm hanging there. Let me explain that part. So as well as the arm, you see little holes, one right here by the arm and another one by Isaac. All right. Let's see if this angle will pick it up right here. You see a hole here and a hole there. What you're going to do, as always, you're going to color everything first. Then you're going to cut, let me go back to this camera, you're going to cut along the line, and you're going to cut that part off, and then you're going to cut out your hand, or the arm, really. And you're going to use, I only have a tack. I'll show you how I do it today. I know there's something called, not something called, but there's it looks like a tack, but it doesn't have a sharp end. It could fold, and it still allows the arm to move up and down, and you'll see what I'm saying. So I'll show you my piece. You see Isaac and Jacob. Can the camerawoman, she fixed it? She got it. Okay, so I colored everything in, and I did some black streaks. Even though by this point Isaac was really gray, I just wanted him to have a little black streaks in his hair, so don't mind the beard. Okay, and I have my tack. I'm going to show this camera. My tack. And I have, ooh, I dropped it. I have the arm. So this is all you're going to do, and I'll do it in this camera so everyone can see. I'm going to punch or push the tack part through the hole on the arm. Okay. Push it all the way through. Now, because this is a tack, what you could do is take, if you're willing to sacrifice, what they always do, take a tip of a pencil eraser, take the eraser part, just break that off and put it onto the tack to kind of just use it as a holder and to avoid them sticking themselves when they play around with it. All right, so now I'm gonna put my hole, or put my tack with the arm attached to it, into the bigger picture, that next hole, and here it is. We have Isaac, his arms, and you can move the arm any direction you want. Isaac is now blessing Jacob. Well, he thinks he's blessing Esau. If you can see Jacob wearing the fur to make him feel, or to trick his father into thinking that he's Esau and taking Esau's blessing. So like I said, on the back, take a pencil. I think I actually have one. Let's do that now. We're going to take a pencil, eraser. If I don't have one, that's okay. Let's see what I have. Okay. I don't have one. That's okay. But what you're going to do is just going to take a pencil. If you're willing to sacrifice that eraser, take the eraser. If you have something else that can be a cushion, by all means, that's fine. Or even if you have the, I don't know what it's called, but it looks like a tack. If you have that thing that can fold underneath to seal the arm into place, so I think you also use it in folders. But yeah, if you know what I'm talking about, go ahead and do it. If you don't, just get a tack, put an eraser on the back, and you are good to go. Or something that would be a cushion. And all you'll have to do now is, you'll see Isaac's arm. Oh, I could just turn it. Yeah, his arm is now blessing Jacob. Or his arm is not blessing, but Isaac is blessing Jacob. Okay? You got it, camera woman? And this, the bubble says, the voice is of Jacob, but the hands are the hands of Esau. And that is how Jacob tricked his brother. And that is it for our second craft. One thing with the second story, we as family members or families, we sometimes do things that hurt our families, but it's important to know that you can still forgive your family members. You can, if other people hurt you, yeah, you can forgive them, but sometimes our families may do some things that will hurt us too. So always learn to say sorry and try to always forgive, because it just causes more peace in the household. Okay, guys, that is it for our second craft, and that is it for today. This was really short, so I hope you still enjoyed today. I didn't want to drag anything out for you guys this Sunday, but please make sure you follow us. And I forgot to say this in the beginning, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And then make sure you follow us on Facebook and YouTube at The Triumphant Church of God. And also follow us on Instagram at triumphant.youth. And can't wait to see you guys next week. All right. Bye.